we've got Depay for Netherlands and Alexander Isaac for Sweden. Secondary kind of striker threats. We've got Gakpo and Weghorst, the ex-Burnley and Man United player. The fact that Weghorst played for Man United to me is I'm still a little bit surprised by that. Oh, I apologize. There has been no sound. There's been no sound, which means I get to do all of that again, which is great because I was wondering what the hell I was going to say for the next 5 minutes. So, welcome to Full Scope Football. I've been looking forward to this game. Netherlands, Sweden. What a group this is. Any of these teams could go through. Any of these teams could come out. Obviously, at the minute, Sweden are leading the group. Netherlands with that draw against Japan. I really enjoyed that game. Earlier on in the week. What a fantastic fixture that was. However, this does put Netherlands in a real precarious position because Sweden, I think Sweden quite clearly are the favourites for the group. And a failure for Netherlands to win tonight will really put the pressure on when they face Tunisia, who you would expect them to beat, but anything can happen in football. Now, if we look at the BBC website, the BBC does give rankings for the third place teams at the minute, and Netherlands are third place in the group. They're currently third of the third place rankings. But goal difference, there's a lot of teams that are on 1 point with a goal difference of 0. Should Netherlands get beat today, and that goal difference obviously drops, they could drop all the way, depending on how heavy the defeat is, all the way to 8th in that third place ranking. And obviously, you need to be the 8th best third place team to qualify. But teams like Ecuador, Senegal, Panama are snapping at the heels behind them with a game in hand, and they could overtake them, and Netherlands could drop out of even the top 8 third place teams. So there's a lot at stake for Netherlands tonight. Again, you'd fancy them to go on and turn Tunisia over, but who knows? You don't want to be having that kind of pressure in your last game. The players are just giving each other a high five at the minute. So while they're doing that, let me give you a little bit of history. This is only the second ever World Cup meeting between the two sides. The last one being in 1974. That was a 0-0 draw. They did play each other in the qualifying for the World Cup in 2018, and that was a 1-1 draw. Overall, in all competitions, Netherlands do have the edge. They've met 25 times, 12 wins for Netherlands, 8 for Sweden, and obviously 5 draws. Excuse me, I have a little bit of hay fever. That's going to be rearing its head. Obviously, there's a lot to be said about Van Dijk. This is very possibly going to be his last major tournament. Fantastic talent, of course, real threat on a dead ball. But he's 34 now. Absolutely, he should be on the pitch. Absolutely, he's going to fit right in there. But will he still have it in 4 years' time, or even 2 years' time? I don't know. Will we see him playing for the Netherlands in a major tournament after this, and what can he contribute? Now, there's a lot of attacking talent on show, but with his ability on the dead ball and set pieces, Van Dijk still may be one of the most important players on that pitch, in my opinion. Now, obviously, Netherlands also have Depay. He's kind of like the main goal-scoring threat, the all-time leading goal scorer. Actually, he surpassed Robin van Persie's goal-scoring record during qualifying for this match. And, obviously, we all know what he's about. A huge, huge threat. Let's have a look at Sweden and who they've got up front. Alexander Isaac is obviously going to be the biggest threat. Now, I can't pronounce Gyökeres. Maybe I pronounced that right. Maybe I pronounced it wrong. Let me know in the comments. But let's look out for him. So I lost myself then trying to pronounce Gyökeres. Right. Anyway, the lineups are out. Gakpo playing front left, just left of the main striker. Going through Sweden now. Let's see how they're going to line up. I've seen the lineups, but not the formation. So we'll see. Netherlands has just drifted past me. Let's see how Sweden are going to line up. Here it comes. So Sweden looking like they've got 3 at the back, going for a 3-5 2 formation with Isaac and Gyökeres up front. I'm going to keep pronouncing it Gyökeres until one of you tells me I'm wrong. I guess that will be soon. Let's see what Twitter are saying before the kickoff. Club Hot Wives. I swear I just typed in Netherlands and hit the latest, and that's the first thing that came up. Is predicting 2-1 for the Netherlands. Obit's predicting a 2-2 draw and Isaac to score. And when you type in Sweden, what are the predictions here? Let's have a look. Yeah. People are predicting a high-scoring game, 3-3 or 2-1 or 3-2 to Sweden. We shall see. But as I'm looking at the monitors, Netherlands are kicking left to right. And just let me get the team sheet up. I've only got a little monitor. It's difficult for me to see the numbers on the back. So we'll see how this goes. Lineup. Anyway, we are off. We have Renuk1. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And Brian O'Rourke in the chat. Correct me already on my pronunciation of Gyökeres. It's pronounced Yok, like mock. Gyökeres. All right. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Who are you guys shouting for? Who do you think? Let me get the chat on the main monitor. Who are you shouting for? And what are your predictions? I'm going to predict. I've got no skin in the game. I like both these teams, but I'm going to predict a Swedish win, I think. That'll make it quite exciting, won't it, in that last game for Netherlands and Tunisia. Nothing has happened so far. The ball goes out for play halfway in the Swedish half. Of course, Scotland got beat last night against Morocco, but a 1-0 defeat doesn't do the goal difference too much harm. Of course, they've got the big guns still left to play, but I think Scotland might get through. But here almost. Right. A little bit of head tennis in the center of the park. Nothing of too much note to add yet. It's a free kick, though, to Sweden. Isaac fouled. And that's an absolute belter of a shiner on Van Heck. I wonder who's giving that. Absolute belter. Right. Trying to sort my monitors out. Let me know how the volume is sounding. Not a great deal happening in the minute. Oofed up to the middle of the park. And surely that's offside. The flag must have gone up. Yeah, about 12 foot offside there from Gyökeres. Now, we did a watch-along of the game on Thursday night, which was pretty poor, to be honest. In fact, it was so poor, I'm struggling to remember who the hell we watched. I wonder if the producer could just remind me who it was we watched. It was terrible. It was Switzerland, wasn't it? It was Switzerland. Switzerland and Bosnia. What a terrible game that was. But I remember we were talking a lot about how surprised we were with how the teams had set up. It was with Switzerland only having drawn against Qatar in the previous game. All right, they went on to win it comfortably 3-0. But for the first 3 quarters of the game, they looked absolutely awful. And with them playing Canada, having the toughest game in the next round of fixtures, we felt they came out really, really pedestrian in a game that really they needed something from. Now, Netherlands here, I kind of put them in the same bracket. They don't want to be I don't think a draw is good enough for Netherlands. I think they need to. If they get a draw, they're still going to need to beat Tunisia. If they get beat here, they're still going to need to beat Tunisia to qualify. So in a sense, it's a bit of a free hit for them, in my opinion. And I'd like to see them come out, all attacking and go for it. It's not what I'm seeing so far. It doesn't seem to be a lot of intensity on play, but we'll have a look. Anyway, Marlon with the ball on the right hand side. And then through to Gavriburg and back down to the midfield. Sweden seem to be playing with a low block, which surprises me. I mean, maybe obviously Sweden know a point will guarantee them qualification. Maybe they don't need to exert themselves at this point. But a nice low block, not getting into anything risky, not taking any chances. A point and the qualified would be great for them. But here come the Netherlands, having some joy on the left-hand side, and it's played in. There's a goal. Is there a hint of offside with that? Is there a hint of offside with that? That is Gakpo. Is it Gakpo? Who scored that? No, it's not Gakpo. It's not Gakpo. It's Robbie. It is our man. Robbie. I thought it was Gakpo. No. Right. So they have some joy down left-hand side, played across the edge of the 6-yard box, and typical goal you might score on FIFA, to be fair, on the old PlayStation. Yeah. To be fair to Robbie, though, he's shown a lot of strength to push his way through the two central defenders to get on the edge of that. Reminds me of, don't laugh when I say this, but reminds me a little bit of Jason Roberts, like a physical player in the box, or maybe an Emil Heskey type finish. Anyway, that's exactly what Netherlands needed. That. Now I'm going to have a word with the producer. I've got a little bit of noise in my ear. Oh, that's better. See, for those who don't know, this channel is run by myself, Marcus, and Ledge, who is a legend, who is in the background. He's producing this game tonight, and I'm hosting. You'll see us both on camera. Oh, but while I say that, Gyökeres just had a Gyökeres. I keep being corrected. Gyökeres, fantastic right on target. Gyökeres' strike, well saved. It was a decent strike, well saved. He's gone out for a corner to the Swiss, and here it comes. I thought it was going to be an in-swinger, but they played it short. And now offside. What a waste. What a waste. There's obviously something they've planned on the training field, but hasn't come off quite as they had hoped, I would imagine. Let's switch to see what people are saying on the old Twitter box, shall we, when we search for Netherlands. I like to keep my pulse with the people on the ground. Batso B says, I'm going to need Netherlands to cook tonight. I've absolutely no idea what that means, but good luck with that. Absolutely good luck with that. Yeah, nobody's... Yeah. World Cup era says, well, Netherlands scored early. Brilliant. Some excellent analysis there. And when we type in Sweden, let's see what the... When we type in Sweden, let's have a look. Noble Kenneth, he says, Netherlands want to injure Sweden. I've not seen that so far. I've not seen it be over physically, but not be over physical. Sorry, I've not seen it be over physical. We will see. Recognize that referee. Word in my ear. Is it Michael Oliver? Did we say? Yeah, not sure of his controversies at all. And Netherlands Controlling possession. Again, Sweden seem to be sitting with that deep block. The goal hasn't. Oh, and here we go. Oh, no. Little bit of danger in the box, but ultimately come to nothing and cleared. But again, only as far as the Netherlands defence, who are sitting quite high up on the halfway line. Sweden, I'm not sure what Sweden's tactic is. I'm trying to figure this out here. I said before, maybe they're sitting with a low block and, happy that a draw will see them through. But you don't want to be defending a 1-0 deficit, do you? But they don't seem to have changed anything. Maybe it's just a case that the goal was so early. They're happy with the plan. They're confident in their ability to get back into it. But who was that? Yeah, it's gone out for a throw-in to the Netherlands. So, if you're joining us now, 1-0 to the Netherlands in what I think is going to be the most exciting group of this World Cup. Obviously, except England's. Not a great deal to report. Sweden seem to be happy to let Netherlands have the ball. Seem just be happy to let them have it, and only really starting to press when we get into the kind of like the final fifth of the pitch. And here comes Marlon on the right. Nice little cross, and headed safely and softly into the keeper's hand. No rush to get it out. Yeah, I am finding it curious, I'll be honest, that they are that Sweden haven't changed the intensity since going 1-0 down. Alan Shearer, obviously a big fan of our channel. He I'll give you his word in a minute. That's a great ball across. I thought for a second that was going to find Gakpo near the back post. But it was intercepted. It's gone out for a corner. I'll give you Alan Shearer's comment in a second. There's a lovely little ball whipped in. Is there a trace of offside there with Gakpo? I don't know, but it was intercepted and the corner's been given. Now, is this where Van Dijk... This is where Van Dijk makes his presence felt. And it comes. It's a good delivery. Headed away by the Swedish defence, and it's gone out for a throw-in. So let's have a look at what was Shearer's comment. What's he want to write into us to say? He says, the reason Robbie was brought in was to be the focal point. Let me start again. The reason Robbie was brought in was to be the focal point, and that's what he's done. Great hold-up play, and his energy and determination to get in the box, and the end of it was great. He wasn't going to miss that. Yeah, that's what I said. Bit Jason Roberts-like. Now, I know Jason Roberts was perhaps not the most clinical player, and he wasn't perhaps the most skilled player, and he wasn't perhaps very good at times. But I'll just say it as I see it. He perhaps had a bit of a weak shot on him, but he did excel in those situations where the ball was put into the box and he had to muscle himself into position to finish. He was excellent at that, and that's what that kind of reminded me of. Jason Roberts, obviously another huge fan of the channel, so if you're watching, don't take that personally. Love you, really. Netherlands seem to be controlling the game, and Sweden seem to be allowing them to do so. I've got it on the left-hand side. And yeah, the momentum just seems to drop to a walking pace. And Sweden just seem to be allowing it. Like I say, if the ball isn't in that last kind of like fifth of the pitch, they're happy for Netherlands to have the ball, even at 1-0 down. Seems a little bit frustrating. Anyway, over with Marlon on the right. That's who Gravenberg, and Has that gone out for a goal kick? No. Dumfries, and now it's been given. Was that offside? Well, the Dutch fans seem happy. That was a very good game, to be fair, that they had against Japan, who obviously played Tunisia in a few hours' time. And you'll have to let me know in the chat. Maybe the producer knows. I don't know, but obviously Tunisia sacking their coach after that thrashing by Sweden. All sorts going on there. Apparently fisticuffs in the dressing room, fisticuffs in the hotel. But here come Netherlands. Corner. Is it? No. Or is it gone for a goal kick? That's... Let's see what's gone on here. I think it's gone for a goal kick. I just think that's terrible finishing. Yeah, that was Reinders. No, again, how am I pronouncing these names? I thought that had gone for Reinders. Yeah, I thought that had gone for a corner, but it hadn't. So yeah, I don't know if Tunisia have replaced their manager. I don't know if the producer knows that or any of you in the chat know that. Michael Oliver's got the ball now, and I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, there's 2 balls on the pitch. He's just got rid of the second one. Kick long and out of play on the for a Netherlands throw. And it's back outside the Netherlands 18-yard box. A little bit of intensity now from Sweden. They seem to be pushing a little bit higher now. But it's with Van der Ven on the left-hand side and Gravenberch through to Marlon. Over onto the right-hand side of the box. Dumfries, what a ball in, and 2-0. And it's that man again, Brobby. He's Jason Roberts it. He has Jason Roberts it again. I think it was Dumfries who played the ball in. Again, it was low and it was into that 6-yard box. And it was just the Swedish defense being out-muscled by Brobby to get on the end of it. I mean, that's happened once. I've been caught out by that. That's happened once. And he's a big guy. He's a physical guy. But you're going to be really frustrated that your defenders are so easily being out-muscled. Let's have a look again. So it's played, yeah, to Dumfries. Definitely onside. Yeah, perhaps not so out-muscled, but out-timed there maybe by Brobby. That's excellent. Wow, my BBC iPlayer's gone blank. Oh, no, it's back again. It's good news, isn't it? If all inconveniences and disasters were solved that quick, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? So what's Sweden's plan now? To be honest, Sweden have got only themselves to blame. They've come out at the beginning of this game with a fairly low block. They've not been pressing. They've been allowing Netherlands to have the ball with no urgency until it got in the last, fifth of the pitch. They've been offering nothing up front through a lack of pressing, a lack of intensity, a lack of just a lack of effort. I'm going to be honest. They've looked lazy. And even when they were 1-0 down, they didn't change the ways. And now they find themselves 2-0 down with 18 minutes gone. I think they've put themselves in that position. Are we going to see? I fancied Sweden to win this. We'll see if they change their ways. Let's see what Twitter's saying. And we have Nick. Nick has tweeted in, not to us, but I'm going to read it out anyway. And just say thank you, Netherlands. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Mertens just put Netherlands 2-0 with a smiley face. And somebody called Oluok says, didn't clock how stacked Netherlands were because Timber had to pull out. I don't know if that's Don't know what the hell he's on about there. Anyway, let's have a look how the Swedish are taking it. Of course, yeah. Producers in my ear. Timber, obviously, my bad being the arse. My team's in the Championship. I don't get to watch Premier League football much these days. So, yeah. Timber being the Arsenal player then who's had to pull out. A Hope on Twitter says it's time to lock in Sweden. It is time to lock in. It's time to pull your bloody finger out, I think, Sweden. Usuf, I love the names on Twitter, says, I thought this was going to be a good game to watch, but Sweden are awful. They have been awful. I think the position in the group has dictated the tactics here. And they've fluffed it. They've got Japan to play next. And Japan are not easy. Japan are workhorses, really, really are workhorses. And if Sweden come out with the same lack of intensity, they're going to be overrun, I think, by Japan. This is a terrible performance. You know, and all the good that they did themselves thrashing Tunisia in the way they did. You know, if Netherlands get another goal before half time, which they very well could do because the flow of the game hasn't changed, all that could be undone tonight, you know, and everything I said before about Netherlands slipping down to one of those third place teams that could go out could apply to Sweden. Anyway, what's happened here? Somebody fell over. Let's go and have a look. Chris Sutton, another tap in from Brian Brobby. I mentioned those wide areas for the Netherlands. It's a brilliant ball, and Brobby gets that big right toe to the ball. Yep. Alan Shearer, I think this is how I called it before. Copy, paste, and repeat. It's exactly right. It was exactly the same, just from the other side of the pitch. Really. Perhaps Brobby had to be less physical to get there this time and just a little bit quicker off the mark, but still. We have a free kick to the Netherlands. About 35 yards out. So is Koeman going to come off the out the dugout and take it? He could take a good free kick, couldn't he? Bit of head tennis around the edge of the box, cleared by Sweden, who look awful. The more this game goes on, the more awful I think this looks. Right. And there they go for the FIFA advert break to get the drinks. Let's have a look at the stats. It's not been great. I'll be honest. Yeah, Netherlands 67.2% possession. Expected goals of 1. They've scored 2. 4 shots, 3 on target for the Netherlands, and 1 for Sweden, which was shortly after Netherlands' first goal. That's the only threat they've offered. It was fairly comfortably saved and went for a corner. Fouls committed, 4 for Sweden, 2 to Netherlands. Aerial duels, 1 of the same. Is there anything interested in here that might give us a tactical insight? Yeah, successful final third passes, 23 for Netherlands, only 3 for Sweden. But it's not that Sweden have been, not very accurate with the final third passes. It's the fact that they've not been up the other end of the pitch. Yeah. So there we go. Pretty poor showing. Excuse me. Pretty poor showing so far. How does that affect the table? Well, Netherlands now top the table. Sweden in second place. If Japan win later on, Sweden will fall to third in the group. And in the third place rankings, they'll fall to third, actually, in the third place rankings. Should Japan beat Tunisia, which I favour them to do. Oh, excuse me. These hydration breaks really are an absolute ball ache, aren't they? Right. Let's see what people at Twitter are saying. NigerBet.com says the Netherlands always look a gear smarter when Frankie is pulling the strings. We're definitely expecting a midfield masterclass against Sweden tonight. How many goal contributions are you backing him to get in the fixture? That's not an advertisement for placing a bet. I wouldn't recommend you do that. But it's not a bad comment, you know. They're dominating midfield, but how much is that down to Sweden just being absolutely shite? I'm going to say it. Okay. Let's see how it's going for Sweden. Excuse me again. Anyway, play is back underway. Thank goodness for that. And for once, it's actually deep in the Dutch half. Play on the right-hand side. But the pressing from the Netherlands is really impressive. No danger. You know, it was deep in the Netherlands half, but there was no danger. Some really, really intense pressing. Yeah, they just can't get a cross in the box. They have won a throw-in on the right-hand wing. Ayari's cross was blocked and gone out for a throw. Do Sweden have a long throw expert? I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. They've got a lot of players in the box, actually. A lot of players in the box. So maybe they do have a long throw expert. Yeah, it's not a bad throw. Headed back. Has that gone out for a corner or a goal kick? Yeah, it was a very tame effort on goal as a result of the long throw. I thought it might have come off a Dutch defender, but it hasn't. It's just gone straight out. No, it actually bounced off Lindelof's face. Oh, I'm giggling because that was funny, that, when you see the close-up. Smacked him right in the nose. Right. Oh, excuse me again. Keep an eye on the stats, shall we? See how the stats are changing. See if Netherlands are bringing themselves back in terms of possession. At the minute, 63% possession. Sorry, see if Sweden are bringing themselves back in terms of possession. At the minute, 63% possession for the Netherlands. But Sweden do have the ball deep in their own half. What are they going to do with it? See, the thing is, it's deep in their own half, but they haven't got anyone to release it to. They're sitting so low. They've just got no release. Gakpo causing a bit of problem on the left wing. Over onto the middle for Netherlands. A little bit of respite for Sweden. Do manufacture at least some kind of break now. Is that Isak? No, it's not. Gyökeres. Ball into the box, and Isak just couldn't control it. And it's gone out for a goal kick. Actually, it wasn't easy. Couldn't control it. It was a Yuri. I can imagine an Alan Shearer getting on the end of that, you know, a diving header, bit of a bullet header. It was awkward. It was an awkward height for him. The ball came in kind of like chest height here. So you're either diving in with your head, you can't get your foot on it. You're either diving in with your head, but he was too close to do that. It was just awkward. It's bounced off his chest and gone out. Possibly could have altered his run a little bit. Anyway, the Dutch have it, passing it around. Again, not experiencing any pressure. Sweden happy for Netherlands to have it in their own half. And it's gone all the way back for, well, excuse me, back to the Swedish keeper. And Sweden just don't seem to be able to get out. I mean, the huffing and puffing. I mean, said that, they've got a break on here, but that is absolutely the wrong ball. Absolutely the wrong ball. The out to Nygren on the left. They have Bernardsson on the right, and acres of space, and he's chosen the player who was surrounded by Dutch defenders. Nygren. I'm going to start pronouncing some of these right soon. Oh, excuse me. Got a bit of wind. So it's been a disappointing performance, I would say, so far from Sweden. Not because of 2-0 down. Obviously, that doesn't help, does it? But because they've manufactured nothing. They've manufactured nothing at all. And even now, Netherlands just happily, the 2-0 up, happily playing the ball around the centre circle. They're under no pressure whatsoever. All the time in the world. Where is the intensity from Sweden? Where's the press? Absolutely no idea. Anyway, it's gone out for a throw, and it's a Dutch throw on the left-hand side. Deep, well, halfway into their own half. So the way the table stands at the minute, Netherlands topping the group with 4 points and a goal difference of +2. Sweden in second place with a goal difference of 2 on 3 points. But like we said, you know, if Netherlands get another before half time, you know, they'll be threatening to wipe that goal difference out. And Sweden, from the position they were in, you know, they could drop to being 7th or 8th in the third place table. Really bad, bad start, bad everything, bad start, bad tactics, or bad implication of whatever tactics. I mean, it's not even that Netherlands are playing that well. They're just being allowed. But actually, that's not a bad little ball. Oh, thought finally, Yakira's in the box. I thought he was finally going to be able to tee a shot off. But Van Heck just got across him to eliminate that threat. Anyway, let's see what's being said on the old Twitter. Juice sums it up. It's what I've been saying. Just says it's too easy for Netherlands. And it is too easy for Netherlands. But like I said, they're being allowed to play like that. I don't know, even now, you know, 2-0 down, time ticking on, why Sweden are continuing to just relentlessly allow Netherlands to have as much of the ball as they want. I'd be absolutely fuming in that dressing room at halftime. I think the best thing that can happen now for this game is for Netherlands to get a third, and for Switzerland realizing that actually they could be in deep waters in the second half unless they come out with the finger out their ass. Let's see what the Swiss are saying. Brandon Davis is American. He says Sweden really suck. Fair play. As a team, they seem to lack any creativity in the penalty area. They seem to lack bodies around the penalty area when they get up there. They've obviously been instructed to play a certain way. It's obviously not working. There's been no plan B. Maybe they're waiting to get to half time to be given one. But Netherlands obviously have Tunisia next. Who you'd fancy them to beat? But a win here, 4 points. They're going through to the knockout stages anyway, aren't they? Alan Shearer is saying, looking at Sweden, they've moved to a back four. So maybe there has been some kind of change, but it doesn't seem to have made a difference in the pattern of play at all. So, but they're on the offensive now. Bernhardsson on the right-hand side couldn't get a cross in, but Sweden do finally have some players up in the Dutch half. They've got the ball in their own half at the minute, but they've got some players forward. Here we come. Nice little through ball. Oh, gee, Kires gets a shot off, and that's actually a really, really good save. Bernhardsson crosses the rebound back into the box, but it's headed away. But it's still with Sweden. Karlström played back to the halfway line. But finally, it's at the halfway line, and some Swedish players are actually still camped out in the Dutch half. They've got players to get the ball too. A little bit of intensity there, a little bit of hassling. Anyway, balls with Dumfries, who seems to have eternity to do nothing with it. Of course, it was him that got the assist for Brobby's second, wasn't it? And it's gone back to the Dutch keeper. Yeah, still too easy for Netherlands. Getting a lot of joy down the left-hand side. Grinders, and ball in the box goes absolutely nowhere. It's picked up again. Is that Gakpo? Couldn't quite make anything of it. A bit of sustained pressure from the Netherlands. Played out on the right to Marlon. Dinked in, but not to anybody. Picked up by Gravenberg. Out. No. Netherlands just seem to be playing it around the side of the box. Here's Gakpo again. Is he going to get a shot off? He is, but that's safe. Safely saved. Never really looked too threatening there, I'll be honest. Let's have a look how the seems to be playing again just at such a pedestrian pace. The Dutch players literally, they're getting the ball at the feet and they're having time just to stand there. Just to stand there and look around and pick whatever pass they want and then pass. And I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. They could literally, if they wanted, at times, stand there for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds and nothing would happen. Ball into the box, just over everybody's head. Sweden, I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do. I'm saying they're trying to clear. It's awful. It's gone for a Swedish goal kick. I'm going to count next time, though. Next time it gets to a Dutch player, I'm going to count how long he's got on the ball before anybody tries to press him whatsoever. It's embarrassing. You'd be embarrassed if it was a League Two team allowing this much time on the ball for the opposition. Right. Sweden definitely have gone to a back four. They actually have the ball around the halfway line, playing it around the back four at the minute. Out to Bernardsson on the right, who seems to be the outlet when they get the ball. He seems to be the man that they're looking to get the ball in the box, but he's not seen it enough. Lindelof. Who's this? Oh, we've got a Iori with an effort for Sweden from the edge of the box. He put a nice little bit of pace on that, actually. He created some space for himself. And I'm not sure whether the keeper got a hand to that or no, it's gone over for a goal kick. That would have been a goal out the blue, to be honest. Let's have a look at the stats, see if it's changed. It was 63% the Dutch had in terms of possession last time we looked, about 10 minutes ago. That's down to 60%, so no real major shift. And here we are. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Netherlands just strolling around on the halfway line. No pressure. No need to play anything forward. No need to do anything quickly. Still no challenge. This is pathetic from Sweden. And it's still Netherlands just all the time they want on the ball. And they haven't really gone anywhere. They're about halfway into the Swedish half now. Somebody might look at this and go, oh, what a passing masterclass from the Dutch. But I could do this. I'm shit at football. And the reason I could do it is because they've been given all the time in the world. Anyway, finally, it's back in the keeper's arms. I think that was Marlon that got the cross. Finally decided to get a cross in the box. Took a deflection. The keeper picked it up. No, it was not Marlon. It was Dumfries. Right, now what can Sweden actually do? Lindelof seems to be the only player that wants to get the ball and run forward. The Swedish left back, has he won a free kick? Perhaps about 20, 25 yards out? Or was that Gudjonsson, sorry, that Gudmundsson, sorry, that went down? I need a bigger monitor. Now, what have they got set piece wise, Sweden? With Van Heck and Van Dijk in that box, It's not going to be easy to create something here, but Nygren is going to whip it in, and it looks like that is in the net. Belka looks like he's scored, but he's not happy. That goal's been disallowed. But why has it been disallowed? It was a nice little ball in the box, actually, and floated in, and a nice little header. That's the first bit of quality we've seen, I think, from Sweden up front. Let's have a look at this. Yeah. Offside. I think that is offside. I haven't got the commentary on, so I don't know if the same VAR are looking at it. I can only guess offside. Play's not restarted yet. Oh, now it's restarted. Oh, no. Yes, restarted. So still 2-0. To be fair, I think that would have been that wouldn't have been justice for if Sweden had have been given that. Just for how shit and lazy they've been. I'm just going to say it now. Anyway, over to Gakpo. What can Gakpo do? He's running. Oh, right. Nice little ball into the box. But ultimately over everybody. And it's gone out on the right-hand side. Or the Swedish left. For a throw-in to be taken, I think, by is that Gudmundsson, sorry. And Sweden can try and bring the ball forward. Will they? I think we know the answer to that. No. Now, while this game is ticking towards half-time bollocking for the Swedish players, it's time to think what you can do for those less fortunate people like, Scottish football fans, maybe. I don't know. I'm joking. If you feel like throwing a subscribe to the channel, hitting a like, it really, really helps us out. We're going to be covering a lot of live streams, a lot of live matches, not just in the World Cup, but we'll be hitting the ground running when the new season starts. We're obviously a new channel, but you're going to be seeing a lot of us. So it would mean the world if you hit the like and subscribe. It really does help new channels get found in the algorithm. Sweden have free kick, actually, from a dangerous position here. Who's going to take it? It looks like Gyökeres has got the ball in his hand. We've got the old draft excluder wall of Netherlands. This is probably about 19 yards out. So one of those getting it up and over the wall and back down again is not going to be easy. Can he find a way to get it around the side of the wall? Is Gyökeres going to take the effort? I think. Yeah, and that's not a bad effort. That is not a bad effort. He doesn't try and go over the wall. Obviously, getting it back down again would have been difficult. He tried to go around the wall. The keeper was equal to it, and he's pushed it out for a throw-in on the Swedish right-hand side. So they've got a chance to launch a long one into the box, and we are now in overtime, in extra time. And I think that'll be the last one. Nygren, the ball falls to Nygren on the edge of the box, and he converts for 3 points. I'm pretty sure when this goal kick's taken, the whistle will blow, at which point we'll give ourselves a bit of a break. Right, and so it's on the right-hand side for Sweden. Um, just got to say to the producer, I can hear some loud noises. I can't- that doesn't quite fit with the game I'm watching. I can't piece the two together in my head. But here comes Sweden on the attack. It's like having a glimpse into the future, but struggling to. Uh, oof. Anyway, Brian O'Rourke. Maybe Sweden are trying to make the Dutch players fall asleep. Yeah, well, they're making me fall asleep. I'll tell you what. All right, the last 3 or 4 minutes, they seem to be trying to give it a little more of a go, don't they? But why? Why have they spent so long literally allowing the Dutch to have as much time on the ball as they want? It's crazy. Anyway, they've got a corner. It's an in-swinger. In it comes. Not a bad delivery. It's punched out. And that is the half-time whistle. Now, I'm going to go and give the Swedish players a bollocking in the dressing room at half-time. So we'll get a waiting card up, and I will see you in the second half. And if you are new to the channel and you want to throw us a bone, then please feel free to hit that like and subscribe. See you soon. Netherlands 2, Sweden 0. It's been a game of 1.5 so far because, you know, it's half time. They're about to kick off. About to kick off soon, but what a half it's been for the Netherlands. I've never seen a team be given an easier ride than the Netherlands were for probably the first 40 minutes of that half. Sweden, to be fair, did wake up in the last 5 minutes. They did start to press. They did start to send men forward, but before that, they seemed content just to sit back and just let Netherlands have as much of the ball as they wanted. So at 2-0 down. Will the Swedish players be given a rocket up their arse by the manager? Will they come out with a different style, a different format, or will the boss be saying, "Look, you've got yourselves in this position. Go and show the world you can actually play. Put a bit of intensity to it, and maybe they'll come out in the same system." I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Who has been the danger man so far? Well, obviously Brobby for Netherlands seems to be out muscling everybody in the box. Dumfries has been quite a threat for the right back. He seems to be getting forward and getting a few crosses in the box from the right hand side. Obviously, we've got Gakpo on the left for the Netherlands. Seems to be a wide range of threats coming from the Dutch team. When it comes to Sweden, Bernhardsson seems to be the outlet they've got on the right wing. Yakira's, when he gets the ball, you know, he's looking to shoot, but there's not really much else. I'd say Lindelof has been the only attack-minded, you know, let's get the ball and run forward player for Sweden. It has been pretty poor. I'm going to be honest. It's been absolute shite. Let's see what the people of Twitter are saying, though. Let's have a look. I'm not going to read out any betting ones. Right, some guy here, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, says, this Netherlands team might be a problem. They're quite good defensively, and obviously playing Brian Brobby at the striker position today is like hitting gold. But I feel Sweden could come back. They started getting to the game from the 30th minute. Isak just needs to shoot. Excuse me. I don't think from the 30th minute they started getting back into the game, but certainly later on in that second half, it looked like they were making an effort. You know, and who knows? Who knows if they do get a goal early on in that second half? The momentum of games can shift. But they're gonna, in my opinion, they're gonna have to come out very different in this second half. They were poor, very poor. Overall possession, 59% to Netherlands, 41% to Sweden. Expected goals, 1.04 for Netherlands, 0.47 for Sweden, who have actually, for all the lack of effort going forward, they've actually mustered more shots than the Netherlands, which is a surprising stat. A lot of those shots have been, you know, from unrealistic positions, bouncing off Dutch defenders, but they've had 9 to Netherlands 5, and 4 shots on target each. But again, not really much to worry about. They've never really, you know, for those stats, they've never really looked like threatening. What is interesting is the aerial duels won. Earlier on in the first half Netherlands were way on top with that. But now Sweden have won 9 to the Dutch 7. They've committed more fouls and they've forced more saves out the Dutch goalkeeper. So there are signs in these stats that they were climbing back into it in the end of the first half. But it was just such a dull half from them. Anyway, Tunisia and Japan later on. I fully expect Japan to win that game. And as this stands, that will put Sweden down into 3rd place in the group to about 3rd in the 3rd place teams for now. But that can all obviously change, and it can change very quickly. Especially if there's another goal from the Netherlands. Just waiting around for kickoff. Let's see what Chris Sutton's got to say. He says the Dutch were very good in the first half of the first half. Yeah, I agree. They got themselves ahead through Brian Brobby, an inspired choice from Ronald Koeman. Then the Swedes had opportunities themselves. And if they can nick one early in the second half, it's not over. Yeah. That's a few people who are saying the Dutch were really good in the first half of the first half. I think it was up to the first 40 minutes. Really, fair enough. Sweden did seem to put the foot on the gas in those last 5-6 minutes or so, but I don't recall them having 15 minutes of involvement. Right. Ellen White, former England striker on the ladies team, says it's been brilliant. The intensity, range of pass and movement. I don't know if she's been watching a different game to me. She says, particularly from the Netherlands, who seem more direct now. The Netherlands do seem more direct. But when she picks out intensity, range of pass and movement, there has been no intensity. It's been the Dutch players standing with the ball for as long as they want to have the ball, passing it to whoever they want to pass it to until they get down to the last fifth, which is the point, last fifth of the pitch, which is the only point where Sweden seem to press them in any way, shape, or form. I don't see any intensity or range of pass or movement. So, I mean, I respect Ellen White's opinion. She's obviously played the game. But I don't, to me, that's bullshit. Excuse my French. All right, we do have a poll in chat. Who will win? Self-explanatory. I think the big winners out of this game are Japan, because they've already played the Netherlands. Japan would have been thinking, well, you know, if we do slip up against Tunisia tonight, we've got to face Sweden. But looking at Sweden, you think they've been there for the taking. This has got to be a different second half, surely. Right, so Sweden kicking from left to right as the camera shows it. Not kicked off yet, by the way. I don't know what we're waiting for. And we are back. We are back underway. Yeah, I've got the sound off. I've just been informed by the producer there was a big crowd countdown, but I didn't hear that. So can we spot anything early with the way Sweden have set up? They do seem to actually, I mean, it's very early days yet, but be a little bit higher, not so low with the block. And they have, I thought they were going to manufacture a chance. The Nygren, I thought, had the opportunity to either shoot or play a nice little through ball for Isak, but he didn't. And I think it's been given as a free kick. I don't know. We were seeing a replay of something that happened in the first half now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, we're still seeing replays of the first half. Right, we're back underway. Netherlands still seem to be passing the ball around lazily at will around the back four. Still not being pressed. That has to change, surely. Ball comes into the box. Didn't fall for anybody, and it's back out. Van Dijk heads it to Van de Ven, back to Van Dijk, and again, just really no pressure, no. They don't, I think the Netherlands are going to give the ball away when they make a risky pass. And that's 3-0, and that's all Sweden deserve. All Sweden deserve. I'm going to say it now. Sweden, you have been absolute trash. Absolute trash tonight. Is that Brobby again? I couldn't see who got it. Was Malin, I think, who got the cross in from the right-hand side. There was no pressure on any. I mean, you could hear me getting frustrated about it, but the Dutch were just knocking the ball around at will. And it is, it's Dumfries again, I think, who gets the ball, and it's Gakpo at the back post. I love saying that. Gakpo at the back post, who finishes it. But there's just no challenge on anybody whatsoever. This isn't classic Netherlands, right? I mean, I don't know how good this Dutch team is. They didn't look that great against Japan. It was a brilliant game. They're being made to look good by a seriously lazy Swedish side who should have had a rocket up their backside at half-time. They should have come out and pressed. And I'm going to start saying how I really feel in a minute, because that is awful. Absolutely awful. No change whatsoever. Right. Anyway, Bernardsson has it on the right-hand side for Sweden. Nothing comes of that. It's going to go out for a goal kick. And where does Sweden go from here? If they try and chase the game and concede a fourth, all that goodwill that they, in terms of the goal difference that they managed to muster by thumping Tunisia, will be gone. They've got a goal difference of 1 now. They concede another. They've got a goal difference of 0, 3 points. And they are, in terms of being one of the better placed third place teams, they are prime to be overtaken and drop towards that, 7th, 8th position. And of course, they've got Japan in the last game. Could Sweden, could this be the game that Netherlands smell bloodier? No. Could this be the game, actually, that sees Sweden out the tournament? I think Japan beat Sweden. I think if Japan beat Sweden, especially if Netherlands get another goal here, I think Sweden get the plane home, and it's all they deserve. I don't know what they've done. If I was a Swedish fan, I would be embarrassed and disgusted by how Sweden have approached this game. And I don't know anybody who's Swedish, so I can say this stuff. And I don't know anyone who's Dutch either. I don't know if the producer knows anyone who's Swedish, or if he actually himself is like part Swedish and wants to wants to scream at me. But oh, okay. No, I just had a word in the ear. I'm safe. Let's see what Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer are saying about that. Alan Shearer, so similar to the first 2 goals. And it was similar in the way that nobody did any pressing whatsoever. Netherlands had all the time in the world to pass the ball around as much as he wanted, with no pressure, no effort. They get to the box, play a nice ball in, and then lack of intensity in the box from the Swedish defenders, and you score it. It's like playing FIFA against somebody and the person on the controller hasn't got any hands. They've got ham for hands, and they don't know how to control the defenders or any of the players. Still. I think that gives Sweden a real headache, because if they do decide to sit back and just try and defend, for the goal difference, so they don't concede another one, they still might concede. And with Japan to play, this could be really bad for them. But to try and change the momentum of the game, if they do start pouring forward after being so poor and offering nothing, are they going to start getting caught out and concede more? I don't know where I'd go now if I was the Swedish coach. I don't know how I would organize my team from here. They've not been brave. They've not stood up and been counted. Chris Sutton says, for that goal, Brian Brobby wasn't far away. He'll be delighted for his teammate, but also thinking, oh, I nearly had a World Cup hat trick. And it was. I thought Brobby had actually got that to start with. Free kick to the Netherlands, but it's halfway inside the Dutch half. Michael Oliver getting his cards out. And it was Somerville who went down. Let's have a look. There has been some substitutions, actually, and I haven't kept you informed on them. Long goal kick. Is Bobby going to get on the end of it? No. No, just taken off him by the by Lagerbiuk, or whatever you pronounce that. Lagerbielka. That's how you pronounce it. I've got someone in my ear. Never lets me down. Oh, Sweden looked as if they were threatening to do something with the ball in the box. And Isak, of all people, just fumbled it totally. We've got Gakpo. Gakpo has made it 4. Has made it 4. Oh, Isak will be kicking himself. Sweden had it in the Dutch box. Isak, I don't know what he was trying to play a pass along the ground, whether he was trying to chip it towards the back post, but he almost kind of like stubbed the ground and not the ball. The ball just, it seemed really weird that he'd lose control that way. And then it was just straight from the Dutch box, taken up the other end, gets to Gakpo. And it reminded me a little bit of Rashford's goal against Croatia, where the England's fourth, where he kind of cut in on his right-hand side. It was a similar position in the box, cut in to make a little space. But this time he's gone to the keeper's right, not the keeper's left. He's gone near post, not far post. But other than that, it was that kind of position. And that's 4-0. And this is difficult for Sweden now. Imagine thumping Tunisia 4-0 and thinking, we've got a good goal difference here. This is great. This will see us through. 3 points and a decent goal difference will see us through as one of the top third place teams at least. And now your goal difference is reset all the way back to 0. You've still got 35 minutes left. You're playing like a bunch of donkeys. This could be 5 or 6 for the Netherlands. And that actually, let's just say it does go to 6. That will put them 7th in terms of the third place teams, with Bosnia, Ecuador, Panama, Senegal, Jordan, all still with a game in hand to sorry, Bosnia won't have a game in hand, but a lot of teams below them will to overtake them and put them in a real predicament. I've got no sympathy for Sweden whatsoever. Anyway, here they do come. They've finally got some men forward. I think maybe the penny has dropped. They've sent some men forward. Ayari has just sent one over from the edge of the box. At least he's had a crack. Wasn't a bad strike, to be fair. There was plenty of pace on it, but it was always going and rising over. This is better to see now, actually. Sweden do seem to be pushing and pressing. I think they are worried about it. They're not going to win this game. They're not going to draw this game. But I think they would love to score a goal or two. But they leave themselves open now. And here come the Dutch again. Was that a foul? I don't know. It hits Brobby on the edge of the box. Is that done? Oof. Now the game is opening up a touch. I don't know who it was who took that shot. Was that De Jong? De Jong? No, it was Gravenberch. All right, have we got a game on our hands here? Are Sweden going to go for a shootout? next goal wins type of play to see if they can get themselves a slightly improved goal difference. This is definitely worrying for Sweden, and they deserve it all. I've got no sympathy for them. Right, let's see what the people of Twitter are saying. It's been a while since we've checked in. KSN says this is a mightily impressive Dutch side. It is not a mightily impressive Dutch side. It's a poor, lazy Swedish side. Big Mackie says this Netherlands team is too good, man. This is football. I don't know why I'll put, I'm going to ask the producer in my ear to tell me if he thinks my take on this game is awful. Like, I'm not. Oh, hang on. We've got a chance here though for Sweden, and they've pulled one back. It was a beautiful through ball, absolutely beautiful through ball. Who was on the end of Joanga? Right. He was. I'm laughing at what the producer's saying to me. That's actually a lovely little through ball and some real pace and determination. They've kind of, for once, caught Netherlands sleeping. Alanga, it was. Oh dear me. So anyway, the thing is, BBC haven't updated the lineups with the substitutions. So that's 4-1. But anyway, I was going to say to the producer, up until that point, were I being a bit harsh on Sweden by saying this wasn't a great Dutch performance? It was just a bad Swiss one, or a bad Swedish one? So I don't know if you heard that. But he. No, so you want to no. So the producer is basically giving a bit more credit to the Netherlands, and I'm not taking any credit from the Netherlands. They haven't put a foot wrong. I just don't think they've been challenged. I don't think they've had to show the qualities that they've got. My personal opinion. But anyway, that's 4-1. Again, Sweden aren't going to get back in this game as a competition. But that goal, how important will goal difference be if they do end up getting beat by Japan and being one of the third place teams? That could be huge. Could be huge. All right. Let's see what Twitter is saying now. Joe Smith says he's in the pub with Jimmy the Greek and Mickey C. Now, I don't know any of those, but it sounds like he's having a top day enjoying the football with his mates. Alanga crosses the ball in. Oof. I tell you what, that would have been interesting. There is a bit of pace and a bit of effort. It was easy, just couldn't get the end of it. It does look like Sweden have finally decided we don't want our goal difference taking a hammering. Let's try and take this to the Dutch. And yeah, Alanga seems to really have a bit of fire in him. Really seems to have a bit of fire in him. Anyway, Jimmy the Greek has said, this game is so good, I'd take a Dutch oven from a fat man that had eaten a Vindaloo to watch the rest of it. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds like they're having a cracking night in the pub watching the game. The corner comes in. It's an outswinger. And ultimately, it's gone out for a goal kick to the Netherlands. Right. Hendo Fernandez says Sweden is getting the belt here. It's difficult to agree or disagree with that. Not too sure what he means. Right. Yeah, Lapsos calls it. Alanga is making Isaac look very dangerous. And I agree with that. He's not been on the pitch too long, is he? But he's full of, for want of a better word, spunk, let me say. Full of running, full of energy. Everything that Sweden lacked before he came on, he's brought. He's bringing that bit of danger. He's getting balls into the box. Probably nearly, speaking of balls into the box, probably nearly got on the end of one there, but it's been put out for a corner. Yeah. So, well, it's not game on. I'm not saying game on. Corner's not been taken yet. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's an outswinger. And no. It went over everybody's head, but still it's picked up by the Dutch, who are trying to work it again back into the box. That is out, looking for Dumfries on the right, but it's gone for a throw-in. Throw-in to be taken by Gudmundsson, but it's probably level with the Swede's own 6-yard box. It's just showing the highlights again of the Dutch fourth goal and the Isaac error in the box. He seemed to stand on the ball as if he was trying to roll the ball with his foot, but when he did it, he kind of stubbed it away from himself. It was really odd, complete lack of control, really uncharacteristic. Anyway, here come here come the Dutch. Through ball for Gakpo on the left, and he was machined out, absolutely flattened. But it was a heck of a challenge from Largo Bielka as well. Not a foul. It's gone for a throw-in. Thrown to Brobby, who conceded a foul. And Sweden will come away with it. They're looking a bit more forward when they get the ball now, Sweden. They're looking as if they know at least what direction the goal's in. Now let's have a look at the stats. Stats now 57.8% possession for Netherlands, 42.2. So it is slowly swinging. Sweden are obviously getting back in it in terms of possession, but ever so slowly. It's inside the Dutch box. Lots of Dutch players back and the ball across. I'm not sure who played that across, actually. Goes nowhere. And Netherlands try and break. It's gone out, though, for a throw-in to Netherlands, and everyone will have time to reposition. Won't be too long before we have the hydration break. We'll all be looking forward to that. Excuse-moi. Okay. Netherlands just holding on to the ball in their own half. Bob on Twitter says, the big question after this Netherlands performance is, who will they be losing on penalties to? I think that must hurt. That hurts as a supporter of a team that goes out on penalties a lot. That's a stinging comment. Well done, Bob. Leo says Netherlands are currently manhandling Sweden. They're being violated. I'm not sure it's that bad. Not sure it's that bad. Right. And Alanga plays a 1-2 on the right-hand side. Oh, lovely little back heel to get through the defend. That was lovely, almost Gascoigne-esque. Ultimately, it come to nothing, but he had to chase the ball to stop it going out on the right-hand side. He had a defender shadowing him, and then he sorts of steps over the ball, back heels it through the defender's legs, turns the defender and gets to crossing. That was pretty good. He's been on fire. He has been on fire. I wouldn't mind seeing him play for England on that performance. Obviously, the fact he's not English might scupper that. Right. Well, Sweden certainly are going for it a little bit more. I mean, it wouldn't be disastrous for them if they could get a second. You know, they'd still have a decent goal difference then. They do get a cross, actually, but nobody is in there. And we head towards the highlight of these games, which is the hydration break. I want to see what they're drinking. It's a shame that the hydration breaks are usually spoilt by adverts for a lot of people in America. They don't get to see these players hang around for 3 minutes, drink the water. While that's all going on, let's have a look and see what Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer are saying on the BBC reporting. Of course, Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer, the SAS, won the title for Blackburn Rovers all the way back in 1995. Chris Sutton scoring a hat-trick, I believe, in his first home game against Coventry. Brobby, says Alan Shearer, is giving Heaney a torrid time. He's beating him up. It's too strong for him. The defender's got to stand off him. He can't go and try and be as strong because it's not working. Brobby's controlling him and pulling him around whenever he wants. Yeah, he's too physical, isn't he? And we said that. Well, we said that about an hour ago. Excuse me. Right. I hope the Americans are enjoying hosting the World Cup. I love the way every hydration break is booed. Let FIFA know. I wonder if the hydration break were literally just FIFA's idea, or if there was pressure put on FIFA by TV companies in America or whatever to get these extra ad breaks in. I don't know. Don't know if my producer has an opinion on that, but yeah, he agrees with me. He agrees with me. Ben Wilts, or Ben from Wiltshire, says, utter genius from Alanga. He's playing like a man possessed, and he is. He's playing like a man who is angry at what his teammates have served up. You know, for the past 50 minutes or whatever, or for the first 50 minutes of the game. Right, so I'm hearing news of substitution that I haven't seen, but Depay is coming on apparently, and Brobby's gone off. He's not going to get his hat trick. He has been a handful. He really, really has been a handful. Right. Now, Memphis Depay is a bit of a handful himself. He's the all-time top scorer for Netherlands. He scored 40-odd international goals, roughly one in every 1.5 the 2 games he's played. And yeah, not a bad replacement to bring on. Excuse me. Here comes Sweden again, actually. They are starting to, it's almost as if they've remembered what a football match is. It's almost as if they've remembered what to do. We just seen Ayari then running with the ball, winning a free kick, taking players on, showing that desire to get forward. Free kick here about 45. I mean, it's way too far to shoot, but it's lofted into the box, headed away comfortably, but it's out for a throw-in on the left-hand side for Sweden. To be taken, it looks like, by Gudmundsson. Is he going to try and launch one in? I think he fancies himself as having a long throw, but it's not a pacey long throw. It's a really high one that launches in the air, seems to take ages to drop, and doesn't actually, I don't think, get as far into the box as it needs to be effective. I think I'd say thanks for your effort, but we need someone who can throw it a little bit longer or with a bit more pace. Anyway, free kick to the Netherlands, foul in their own box. Oh, Des Island from the Netherlands. You'll like this one, right? He wanted Brobby to get a hat trick. He's disappointed he was taken off, so he's just posted daylight brobbery. I love it. I love it. It was brobbed of a hat trick. I have not made that up. You can check the live reporting on BBC. Daylight robbery. That's brilliant. Is that? Oh, sorry, that was a producer I was speaking to. Excuse me, making that up. I say the producer. I don't know why I'm calling him producer. He is obviously producing the show, but he is Ledge, the co-channel owner. We both own the channel. Which, if you've not subscribed to, then there is a button there, and you can hit it. You can, then create another 1 million accounts and hit it another 1 million times, and then we'll have 1 million subscribers. It will be just off you go. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how will the Netherlands handle this game. They've got their 4 points. They know they are through with the 4 points. They don't need to do anything crazy. If, Sweden are pushing, they're trying to correct that goal difference a little bit. Netherlands don't need to go to a shootout with them. They are going to win this game, and that will put them through. But will they try and kill the game, or are they going to keep pushing in front of their own fans to try and make this a absolute massacre? Who knows? Anyway, it's over on the left. Oh, that is possibly the worst cross I've ever seen in my entire life. Who was that? From Van der Ven. He was on the byline, facing the byline, trying to cross it to his right, and somehow kicked it right in front of him forwards, out of play. So it'll be a goal kick to Sweden, which has been taken short. And immediately, actually, the Swiss are under pressure and they've lost the ball, and it's back with the Netherlands, who can bring it forward. That's gone out though for a goal kick. Here come Sweden again. And it's Elanga on the right-hand side. He's running with pace and purpose. He whips across in. I think that was Van Dijk who got a head on it, but Sweden keep the ball. Can they they're looking to get a cross in the box. Chance, hang on. No, and it's cleared. It is cleared. And now it's a free kick to Netherlands. They are playing with more purpose. They are playing with more anger, I think. But it seems when they got the ball in the box, and I understand it when you've got big players like Van Heck and Van Dijk in the box, it's difficult to be lofting balls in. You know they're going to be dealt with pretty well, but they seem to be trying to get too close and play it along the floor. Just right across the front of the 6-yard box, and it's being picked out by feet too easy. Here come the Dutch on the right-hand side. Is this Dumfries? That's a poor cross. Or was that Marlon? I can't tell from my tiny screen. And we have, I believe, a substitution on the way. Let's see who that might be. I'm just seeing a replay here of Alanga's goal, which was good. It was well taken. It was well taken. Right, we had a substitution. I haven't seen it on here. Ledge did tell me who it was. You're going to have to tell me again because it's not coming on my screen. Oh, it's just come off my screen now. Yeah, Ayara off and Ali on. Alan Shearer has piped up. He says, it's all right having attacking players like Sweden do, but they'd not kept a clean sheet in 12 matches before today and have now conceded 4. That's where the problem lies. Maybe that is why they came out the way they did. Maybe they thought we are going to keep a clean sheet in this game, and our attacking quality at some point will see us through. We'll back ourselves to score, but we'll play with a low block and keep a clean sheet. I think it's safe to say it didn't work out the way they maybe hoped. Oh, excuse me. But still, 5 goals in 2 games from Sweden in these championships so far. Not a shabby return. Here's Alanga again on the right. And every time he gets the ball, he just wants to run. And it's not always coming off for him, but he's offering that threat. You know, he's in the mind of the Dutch defenders. The minute Gakpo's down, holding his ankle, I think that was... not sure who... Not sure who... Oh. Yeah, Bergval. Right. Netherlands have it again. Zoned out there. Sorry, everybody. Right, so here we have Netherlands in the middle of the park. Again, having a lot of time on the ball. The difference is, I suppose, that we know if Sweden do get the ball back, they're going to run with it. They're still persisting with letting the Netherlands have the ball for a long time, but at least they are, when they get the ball themselves in transition, they are trying to increase the pressure. Anyway, goal kick to Sweden. Oh, excuse me. Netherlands pressing well here. They're not letting, Sweden, they are certainly, you've got to give them credit. I've slagged them off a lot in this game. Got to give them credit for how they're playing now. They're trying to get the ball forward, but Netherlands are pressing really well. For some reason, Sweden are trying with this, let's pass it out from the back. I criticised England a little bit for it the other day, because when you're playing a team that aren't pressing you, you can get away with it and you can look good. But I've seen too many teams who aren't used to that style of play try that style of play and just be pressed totally out the game. And you may as well be playing against 12, 13, 14 men when you play like that. Here's Alanga on the right-hand side, though. Again, looking dangerous. Ball into the box. It's not a great ball in, to be honest. It was waiting, and it was way over his head. But again, Alanga is the man. 8 minutes left. And a second goal for Sweden. They'd be, it's odd to say they'd take a 2-0 defeat. They'd take a 4-2 defeat. But I think at this point, they'd be happy with that, with the goal difference. And Netherlands it's fair to say they aren't rushing to get the ball back in play. I don't think they need to. They've qualified at this point. They've got Tunisia left to play. They could lose that 100-0, and they'll be through on 4 points. Well done. And I didn't see it. Before this game, I was saying just how difficult a night it could be for the Netherlands, and if they didn't, manage to somehow pull a win off, they could be taking an early flight home. It's just been made way too comfortable for them. But here come Sweden over the left-hand side. Shot from the edge of the box, and that is a good, solid save. Has that gone out for a goal kick or a throw? I'm not too sure. I've lost my mouse cursor. But that was Hean, and he's hit that well. It's a good save. It's a corner. We've got plenty of men forward for this corner. Fair play. Alanga is going to take it. I'm not so sure I'd want him taking the corner, but ultimately it's kind of headed out and lashed back in. But it's a comfortable save in the end, really comfortable save. I think it was Zanelli who had the shot. Van Dijk seems to be looking a little bit uncomfortable, like he's hurt his calf. He's not had a great deal to do. In fact, I'd say he's been quite quiet. Oof. Netherlands goal kick. Took his time about it. He was charged down. Who was that? Let's get a closer look. It's Yakira's. Charged down the keeper, intercepted the goal kick, but the referee's blown. I can't hear what the decision was, but he didn't like it. So far, 100% of the voters in the chat think Sweden are going to win the game. And, good luck to you for that. Let's go back on Twitter. We've not seen the people of Twitter for a while. Navid Nika Azad says, Netherlands team appears more prepared in their second game than I expected, beating Sweden with 4 goals. Yeah, I just think Sweden have shot themselves in the foot. Lost with Chan says Netherlands is eating Sweden up, by the way. Right. Sweden players are not focused. This should have been a draw, says Anna. She says it twice. 2 different tweets. You must have really meant that. Anyway, not lots going on at the minute, but Sweden are breaking on the right-hand side. And again, it's out to that man, Alanga, who no doubt, well, I said no doubt he's going to run with it. He plays nice 1-2. He's going to get a shot off. No, he tries to get it to Isak in the box. And it's just intercepted. But you always get the feeling something's going to happen. when he gets that ball. Let's see what people are saying about Sweden. Oh, sorry, about the Netherlands. Just on Sweden, haven't we? It breaks for Sweden in the middle of the park. They've got men forward, played over to the left-hand side, level with the edge of the area. Can we get a cross in? It takes his man, beats his man, and the cross is so bad. It's gone out for a goal kick. I don't know how you can cross the ball forward when you're trying to play it backwards. That was terrible. Right, let's see anyway what the comments are. Producers ribbing me about my own team here. Okay. But I mean, there's not a great deal going on here. Netherlands are just taking the steam out of the game, which you can't blame them for. Only a couple of minutes left. They don't need any heroics now. They don't need another goal. But they are pushing forward now, actually. And there it is. There it is. That was all too easy for our man, number 24, Somerville, on his right foot. The ball was bounced around the midfield. Eventually, a forward pass was played. And Somerville just created a little bit of space outside the box and drilled it from outside the box down to the keeper's right. It was hard and low. It was a good strike. That's now 5-1. And let's have a look what that does to the goal difference. That puts Sweden back down to a goal difference of 1. Brian O'Rourke says, there was an article on BBC. Joachim Clement, who successfully predicted the World Cup winners in the past, predicted Netherlands will win. Okay. All right. Predicted Netherlands will win. I'll store that up here. I'll keep it in my locker. We do have a predictions show that we're hopefully going to try and record tomorrow and get out. So we'll mention that when we talk about Netherlands. And to be honest, it's difficult to judge because yes, Netherlands have looked very good in this game. And maybe I'm being one-sided, but I just think Sweden have allowed them to look good. Yeah. Anyway, we've hit the 90 minutes. I'm not sure just yet how long is going to be added on. Chunk of change, obviously. Gakpo has gone off. Lang has come on. Not much is going on at the minute. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's see what Alan Shearer has got to say. It was a good strike, actually. It reminded me of Bellingham when England played Croatia earlier in the week. He scored, and then not long after, he had another chance that the keeper saved, and he hit it from a similar position, but a little bit higher. Whereas some of all those has hit it really nice, hard and low, just inside the post. Really, really good finish. Sweden, they're looking for a second. They're not trying to not concede a sixth. They are looking for a second. Is that Gudjonsson? No. Gudmundsson. Why do I keep saying Gudjonsson? Anyway, collected. And it's going to be a Netherlands goal kick. Got 3.5 minutes left of the 5. Gakpo seems to be nursing his forearm somehow. Is that? I wonder what's happened there. Yeah, that is true. That is true. So it was just a word to the producers here. Not a lot is happening here at the minute. We've got a throw in to Netherlands on the right-hand side, but they're not rushing to take it. It's about halfway in the Swiss half. You need tall players who unit, says Brian. The Dutch are like that. France, and yeah, you're right. You're right. You do need, a big presence, and I think that is why African teams are causing people a problem. Like you mentioned, Senegal, the Ivory Coast caused a problem not so long ago. When they played Portugal, I think big when you got big, athletic, strong players. Who's that down? Somerville's down. He's holding his face. I don't know if he's really hurt. When you've got big, strong, athletic players like that, you can cause a lot of problems in different ways, can't you? And if you add a little bit of quality to it, you're always going to be difficult to beat. He's taken a knee to the side of the head. It was accidental. Took it well, though. Took it like a champ. Just seeing that his shot was 67 kilometers an hour, Somerville, for that goal. Not quite Alan Shearer-esque. Who's full of praise for Somerville, by the way. Says, what an impact Somerville has had since coming on. He's looked full of energy and more than played his part in this victory. A minute left of injury time, of which I think there'll probably be another minute and a half added. Is that going to be enough for Sweden to score again? It's been disastrous for Sweden as this. Absolutely disastrous. Back with a goal difference of 0. And should Japan win, I tell you, Sweden are in danger of going out in this competition. If they can't beat Japan in the next game, if they lose against Japan, they're going to have a negative goal difference. And I think 3 points and a negative goal difference is possibly not going to see you in the top 8 best placed third finishers. Somerville's still being treated, actually. He does look a bit out of it. Being treated by the physio, got the magic ice on the side of his head. It was a knee to the temple. It didn't look, particularly hard, but the location of it wasn't nice. The temple is really going to shock you. That's a fair corner. Gudmundsson gets his head on it, but it's well saved. Having said that, it wasn't Gudmundsson, was it? And there's the final whistle. That is the final whistle. Netherlands made it look easy. We're allowed to make it look easy. And that is the game over. So, listen, if we look at our poll, Sweden were predicted 100% to win. That didn't quite come off. I'm going to suspect that maybe it was you, Brian, who made that vote. But thanks for being here and watching. Hopefully we'll see you again. I will ask if anybody is kind of drifting through and watching this, feel free to throw us a bone. We're a new channel. We're going to be doing stacks of these watch-alongs, especially when the domestic season kicks in. Please give us a subscribe. It means the world to a new channel when it comes to building a bit of momentum. And we will see you very soon. Oh, Brian is in the chat. Yes, it was. I was having a laugh. I thought, I didn't think for a second, Brian, you were being serious. I thought you'd definitely be having a laugh. Listen, thank you, everybody. And we'll call this an end. We'll watch out for the prediction show that is coming out soon and more live fixtures next week. I don't know how to end this stream because I'm not producing it. So I'm just going to say bye and then sit in silence till I'm told it's over. Bye. I don't know if we're finished yet.